We are here! Finally. And yeah, you maybe wonder why we have only 8 drivers, so... Because there are one driver, and I see many fans in the chat here. We are here! Finally. He doesn't have DLCs. I don't know how is that possible, but yeah. Basically. Congratulations. But... David Stula is his name, and... He doesn't have DLCs and he doesn't have money to buy them. So he can't race, and... Václav Karasek can't join the server somehow. We don't know why. Yeah, you can see it on the top of the screen. He gets kicked out every single time, but right now we have kind of a GT3 quali. Somehow only Morgan Bucket, what is his name, is qualifying now. Gabriel Dupe leaving the pit lane, and it's only about 5 minutes to go in this qualifying. And here we have Richard Wasile, the final car in the qualifying. I think this race will be filled with lots of technical issues among the drivers, but there's nothing we can do about it. Meanwhile, Morgan Bucket getting 157 with the BMW M4 GT3. Very nice lap from him. And here's Gabriel Dupe losing it on his out lap. Yeah, we should have been more drivers today, but somehow they just decided to not race. Lovely. And Gabriel Dupe going wide and back to the pits. At least it seems like. No idea what is going on. He's going very, very slowly on his qualifying lap. And he is the only car currently going on the grid. So Gabriel Dupe now on his fly lap. He will try to do his best, and he goes instantly goes wide off the track. Maybe an invalidation overlap. We'll see how it ends up. Meanwhile, Matirica trying to join the server to start the quali. And there we have him. So And here's Richard Wesley. And just locking up, going wide and wide everywhere. He is on his outlap. This is not an ideal outlap. You can see him struggling in the Ferrari 296, and there is maybe no time for him to set the lap. And it seems like Mathieu is also leaving the pit lane. And we can finally start using our admin app to get the drivers into the pit lane for the start of the... So we can start the hypercar quali. And Jose going into the pits. And Hypercars can now leave the track, go on track. Hypercar quali on. So Morgan Baggett, the pole sitter for the hypercar for the GT3 class, as he was the only car to set the lap in this qualifying. Here are we watching.
Teď už mám doslova problém.
Co je? No je tak jako, já s tím nic neudělám. Tak hord nepojedeš, jako prostě já nevím, no. Co ti na tom říct? Kdyby co zjistil půl hodiny před závodem, to bych ti dal účet, ale teď už je pozdě. No nic, no. Buď musíš někoho se do těho koupí, anebo smůla. Neporadím. So... Here we are for the first lap times in the hypercar quali. We can now go on board with Karol Jedlička on his first flying lap. With about 9 minutes to go in this quali. And let's hope for a great racing here in Qatar. And Eric Marshalik spawns on a track around turn 5. Not a good start from him in the quali. Let's see Adam Tomasiak, how is he doing on that, the winner in Daytona. He's now going on the final corner. Adam Tomasiak crosses the line now. 1 minute 40. One of the better times, not the best. Next car on track is actually Kaidos. He's coming now through the final corner. Behind him is Eric Marshalik, and Kaidos locks up into the final corner. Definitely not the best way to take the corner, so let's see how Gabriel Ramos is doing. And he's going into the pit lane, so no time from these blue drivers. Daniel Klippel now also coming through the final corner. Is it a lap time of the quali? No, it is not. So he's now going for his first flying lap. And Georgi Iliev now leaving the pit lane to start his own quali with BMW. And I'm just going over the curb, and I think that's enough track, maybe. Because the track limits in Qatar are very strict. You never know what can happen here in Qatar. So Tomasiak now crossing the line. Not an improvement this time. The next car to go around the track is Eric Marshalik in the yellow Ferrari. What he can do, what we can expect from him, he's locking up, going a bit wide into the final corner. He's now crossing the line. Another discounted lap. Adam Tomasiak stopped on track going into the pits. Next car to cross the line is Daniel Klippel. Is this the lap? It is 1:44. He's 4 seconds behind Adam Tomasiak. Not the best laps. Georgi Iliev now starting his first flying lap in this quali. What he can do, we'll see. So now Gabriel Ramos, another car going through the track. The East Block Ferrari. Going a bit deep into the final corner once again, missing the apex. He is now gonna cross the line. And it's an outlap once again. So only 3 cars crossing the line with a respectable lap time to not start behind GT3 class. They have 5 minutes to go in this quali. And hopefully so Marshalik now coming through the final corner. Another discounted lap. What is going on with him? It was 1:42. So actually not the worst lap time, but it was not counted because of the crossing, because going wide. Georgiev also not counted. He was going 146. So now we have flying laps from Kaidos, Eric Marshalek, Daniel Klepalis in a pit lane. He is happy with 144, the second place. So Eric Marshalek on his try over best lap. Is this lap time going to count for him finally? Going through the final corner for like 5th time this quali. And it's a lap time, P2, 142.7. A very solid lap time from the Polish driver. Another car is Adam Tomasiak. Behind him, Georgiev also. On their quali laps. Adam Tomasiak not improving. It was 140.6, 0.9, not the worst, not the best. Georgiev also not counted lap time for him. Gabriel Ramos crossing the line. And once again, it's not counted. What is going on with the Spanish driver? So now it's Kaidos, the Eastblock driver, in today's race. He is the last chance for Eastblock to get a better position than 4th place. He's crossing the line. 143. And also one more try in this quali. It's a final lap for Kaidos, definitely. He's not gonna make it for 2nd lap. Now it's about Gabriel Ramos, Georgiev to get the lap time, to not start behind GT3 in the rolling start. So Eric Marshalek right now is down by 2 seconds, but he still has a 1 try in this quali. He can take an final corner, but he's now going for his final try in this quali. Adam Tomasiak now coming through the final corners. He's down by half a second. Can he go on and improve the pull-up time? Adam Tomasiak now crossing the line. 140.1. And that's a lap you need to beat. Georgiev crossing the line, goes 2nd fastest, 141.3. Very solid lap time from the Bulgarian driver. Gabriel Ramos now. Can he finally set the lap time? Yes, he can. 145.4. He's right now last. And luckily, every hypercar has set the lap. It's the end of a quali. Kaidos now going a bit deep into the final corner. Crossing the line now. It's gonna be not gonna be improvement, definitely not. So right now the only chance of an improvement is on Georgiev, which is nearly abysmal. I don't think it's gonna be that much of a matter, as he needs to find 1 second to beat the man who won in Daytona. Can now see the gaps. It's a bit big gaps around the track, but Georgiev 1/10 down on his best lap time, but doesn't seem like much of an improvement coming. Eric Marshalek now crossing the line. No, he's going into the pit lane. There is ending, and I think Gabriel Ramos is nearly 2 tenths up on his lap time, but also he needs nearly 1 second in the track. Tomasha going to the pits. Georgi Ilyev crossing the line. He is not going to improve, as the lap time was not counted. So the Gabriel Ramos now final car on the track. He is crossing the line now. He should be going under 145. And no, he's not. So last place for Gabriel Ramos, the Spanish driver. Not as much of a chaotic qualifying as in Daytona, but still, Adam Tomaszek on pole position. And an extra 1 point for the race to the championship, so we should be very happy. And we can now go for the main race, which everyone is probably waiting for. I hope everything is working. I hope someone doesn't storm off the grid. And he done it. I hope, yeah, he's waiting. So, the biggest favorite for a win today is Adam Tomaszak. Not a big chance of safety car this race. Few full Cruciello will be there, but safety car is very unlikely unless we have a big shunt into turn 1 or somewhere later in the race with mix of GT3s, because in the end, Qatar is very long and very huge track, lots of space to leave and also go off the track, so not much of a chance that the car will bounce off the wall back into the track to cause some chaos and damage to other drivers. So I think the safety car is very unlikely today. So how it looks like, 7 hypercars, 4 GT3s. Sorry, 6 hypercars and 4 GT3s today. Not the highest attendance, but at least something today show up. Unlike the last season where we had 3 drivers on the grid. I can't drive. So cars are now going onto the start. You can see them now. He is just the 6 cars, but a very competitive grid. at least... Okay, we don't need real time, sorry about that. I'm gonna turn it off quickly. So now it's about Adam Tomaszek, no overtaking until start-finish line. And Adam Tomaszek is now going to start 1 hour of Qatar. At Losail now. It's a very close start in the hypercar. We can now see who's that. Seems like Daniel Qatar. There is a crash. The race leader is off the track. Deposit, and also Richard Wessel is spinning out into turn 1. Very chaotic start of the race. We are now going to look, and there is Aaron Marshalik and Georgi Iliev fighting for the place on the track. Very close grid in a hypercar. Both BMWs now leading with Georgi Iliev in the lead and Daniel Kleppel in second. There is Gairos going wide off the track. Very, very hard, but sadly Adam Tomaszek spinning out of the track. Someone had to crash into him. I'll look at that in a short moment. And also look at Adam Marshall going wide behind the curb. This is very, very close racing, but two East Block racing cars very far off the pack. And Daniel Kleppel going wide, and Marshall can now take the chance to maybe attack onto the Czech driver. And they are going now side by side, but Marshall will take the place. Bit of a push wide, but everything is fine between the rules. I'm gonna go quickly take a look at the turn 1 incident. What happened there to the race winner Daytona and the pole sitter? Where is it? There we have it. So everything fine for now. And it was actually Kairos who crashed into the championship leader. And Kairos is getting 10-second penalty for that incident. It's not an ideal moment for him as he's now being attacked. He's Adam Tomaszek already fighting with Gabriel Ramos. And also Daniel Kleppel involved in this battle. It's a very close racing here between those three drivers. And also very solid racing. And Adam Tomaszek getting past both East Block once again. He's gonna need a solid drive to get back through the grid to maybe get a chance of taking a win today. So here is Adam Tomaszek right on the tail of Daniel Kleppel. Daniel Kleppel will try to do everything to hold him off. It's gonna be very, very hard. But I think he will do everything he can do. Now Adam Tomaszek, very good exit into the final corner, goes on the inside, and Daniel Kleppel goes really, really wide. And Adam Tomaszek up to 3rd place. Enormous comeback from spinning out behind the GT3s on the start to getting back into the 3rd place. Very good start of the race from Adam Tomaszek. The first 4 minutes of the race, he is very happy, definitely. So here's Kairos in the 6th place and the last. And another place. He definitely didn't want it to be in last place with 10-second penalty for causing an incident into turn 1. I mean, I will take a quick look one more time, but it seemed like he was very, very optimistic. Yeah, it was his fault at 1000%. Shame for him. But mostly shame for Adam Tomaszek, as he could have been leading already, but Jir Gilgev, 8 seconds lead. Nicely done. And Adam Tomaszek already on the tail of Erik Marszalek, as he is struggling. He will go for it. Erik Marszalek taking defensive line. They are side by side into turn 1. Erik Marszalek on the inside. Nearly crashed the Polish driver. Very good defense in the number 83. And there is a contact. Adam Tomaszek had to save this as he nearly punted out Erik Marszalek. And getting into another incident in this race for the Chinese driver. Not an ideal start into the Qatar race, but he is still alive. He's still very close to Erik Marszalek. And he will go for every opportunity he can take in this race, that's for sure. And that is also fighting behind Gabriel Ramos, 0.2 of a second behind Daniel Klippel. We need to keep an eye on this battle, because this is battle of a big drivers. And you can see this lining up, and Adam Tomaszek goes on the inside of Erik Marszalek, and there is nothing he can do about it. Not an ideal exit also for Adam Tomaszek, for Erik Marszalek, and Adam Tomaszek storms into the second place. 12 seconds to catch up to Gergiev. He lost 4 seconds by the time he got in front of Erik Marszalek. Marszalek goes a bit deep, so he can now take an eye on Gabriel Ramos, trying to get. But no, there is Kairos going completely off the track, and now very good switchback from Ramos. Nice exit, and now Daniel Klippel pushing into the wall. It's a not safest defense from the Czech driver. As they now going into the turn 1, I think Gabriel Ramos definitely not happy about it. He will do everything he possibly can do, but there is not much more he can do, and hope that he doesn't crash and wait for the corners there where he can actually make some move. And there is a very good exit, and Kairos catching up very, very quickly. This is going to be a 3-way battle for the 4th place between 2 Czech drivers and 1 Spanish driver. And look at this, unveiling right in front of our eyes. Kairos going a bit wide, losing him around half a second. And Gabriel Ramos will go for a better exit than Daniel Klippel. And Daniel Klippel nearly lost it, so Gabriel Ramos can now catch up. And maybe now can do something. It's a very close battle, and Gabriel Ramos going onto the curb. Daniel Klippel pushing wide into the last corner. They go side by side, and Gabriel Ramos will take the place. And now it's 3-way battle. You will blink him off. I don't know for what. And he gets back into the 4th place, and now even Kairos can get in front of Gabriel Ramos, the 2 teammates, and Kairos locks up and go wide and off the track, and now Gabriel Ramos will take the chance on Daniel Klippel, and he will take it. It's very, very close racing, but very nice battle between those two. Look at this. I just hope they don't crash, and they go both wide. And Gabriel Ramos had to lose the cut penalty. Now, once again, they are fighting. Gabriel Ramos on the outside of Daniel Kleppel. Maybe go for a switchback. Yeah, there was good defense from Daniel Kleppel, but I think Gabriel Ramos is definitely not. And he is. He needs to conserve the cut penalty, as this was definitely a off-track violation. So very nice racing, very nice start of the race. What is going on with the live timing? Yeah, everything is now fixed. And with that, Gabriel Ramos getting past Daniel Kleppel. He got a cut penalty, I think. Yes, he got. Also not the most ideal moment for the Czech driver, and they will go into the battle once again. And now they are side by side. Daniel Kleppel will go into the head and nearly a contact, but very nice managed by Gabriel Ramos, who tried to go for switchback, and there is the contact. This time it went completely wrong for both of the drivers. And why is it always putting on Mati Ritsa? And there is the battle. Gabriel Ramos for switchback on Daniel Kleppel. Look at this. It's not over yet. They are still on. It's like a war. I mean, they definitely lost about 9 seconds because of their battle, but everything's fine. There is Gabriel Duke getting into the battle, and it's gonna be very, very dangerous. And why are we getting a Kaido's view as we are now right in front of the battle of the ages in the hypercar class? And Daniel Kleppel somehow still ahead of Gabriel Ramos. I have no idea how is he doing it. Gabriel Ramos showing how quick he is. And now he will go maybe for a switchback, maybe for better exit. Definitely better exit from Gabriel Ramos. And he'll push him into the line. I don't think that... We'll be happy about it. And Daniel Clipper doing some cheeky moves. Trying to keep his rival behind him. This was completely fine, even though it was a bit cheeky, but it was not something someone like when he's behind you, but you can't do anything about it. It's allowed. But I mean, the defensive moves on the straight are a bit too much. Like pushing off the track. And Gabriel Ramos now had to slow down because of the off-track cut warning, sadly for him. Meanwhile, Adam Tomasha goes sets second fastest lap time, which is not counting again for cut penalties. So Gergiev is still in the lead by 16 seconds. And I think only safety car can ruin his win the chances of his win today. Which is something he's definitely happy for. And there is Gabriel Yup for his first pit stop in this race. It was Richard Vasily. I think he was lapped. And he's struggling very, very hardly here in Qatar. He was not practicing, he said it. But he didn't have time for that. Gabriel Yup now leaving the pit lane. I think that Yuritsa is now on the start-finish line. Doesn't seem like he's gonna be able to pass him. So free pit stop for him. And now also free pit stop for Morgan Baguette, the race leader in the GT3 class. We can go for a quick review of the points today. And look at this is too much! I completely missed that, but that was... everything I saw was completely impossible. I will take one more look at what happened there. Okay, it just seemed like a mechanic 10-second penalty for cutting. He already done it, so right now that means that and there is a contact! And Morgan Baguette also 10-second penalty for cutting, but this is getting too much. The war is on. And Kairos once again caught up. There is Richard Vasily spinning out of the track, but no, and look at this. This is very close. And Gabriel Ramos now go take a look on the outside. Will go for a switchback, and very nice move from the Spanish driver. Lovely drive from Gabriel Ramos, and he did it. He's finally passed Daniel Clipper. Now just don't get the off-track penalty, and you are fine, mate. And now look at this! Daniel Clipper will take a look on the inside. He definitely, in the end, he decided not to pass him. Now on the straight, he will go down. In the battle, and okay, he's very, very quick. Storming past Gabriel Ramos. Sadly, the straights are very, very long, so there's not much chances to survive, but Gabriel Ramos can show off his excellent driving to maybe get past him once again. And was that as Gabriel Dupe spinning out? Look at this, Daniel Klippel. And Gabriel Ramos, look at this, was nearly a contact. I would just like to say that if they crash and Guidos will be collected with him, it's safety car. Just to say that everything can happen in this moment. So Gabriel Ramos definitely not giving up on his chances. And he'll maybe go for a better exit. Looked like a bit, and that's a very, very close defense. On the edge, and there it is! Daniel Klippel and Ramos crushed out. Everyone survived, luckily. It's gonna be damage on Gabriel Ramos' front wing. Shameful as that, but I think then Ramos is getting much more mad at Daniel Klippel for his driving, because that sometimes I think it's unacceptable. He will not even get past the speeds. The BMW has much better top speed on the straight, and it's very, very hard to fight them. Fight the BMW in this race, so no wonder. Maybe a battle between the two Eastbrook drivers, and in the end Gabriel Ramos still stays ahead. Seemed like Guidos got the move done. And now Gabriel Ramos fucked up, and he will go track, and also Daniel Klippel will get locked down. My GT3 car, Gabriel Dupe. Guidos get past and he's sent out to try and fight his fellow Czech driver. It's gonna be Eastbrook trying to do everything to beat them, and they both go off track. This is a chance for Gabriel Ramos. He will get move on Guidos, and that was a bit of an unexpected defense from Daniel Klippel, but he gets past him. Yeah, and that's it. I don't care. I mean, yes, he closed the door. That was too much. It was last minute move on Gabriel Ramos. And that's maybe a... Okay, Gabriel Ramos now going off track, and both of them going off track and have to slow down to avoid penalties. And funny enough, we are just waiting until they are both out and brought out. Maybe safety car, maybe virtual safety car, maybe full Crucielo. It depends if Guidos will be collected with them or not. There's Richard Westerley in the way in the Ferrari GT3 car, the Corp Racing And he was close to Daniel Gabriel. And oh! There it is! Gabriel Ramos is in a wall. And Gabriel Dupe also. He's gonna be full Corsa now. And also Kaidos! And Georgiev also spelling out. I think he maybe crashed out with Gyros. And I think Georgiev should be very, very happy for the full Corsa as it saved his life. So Gabriel Ramos is in the pits. I think that was too much. I'm completely lost. Because what happened there was too much at the same time. I'm gonna try to find the contact with Richard Wesley as I'm completely missed it. Oh no! I don't know if that's a penalty maybe for Gabriel Ramos. He was completely because he got the penalty for scutting. Because of going off track, and then Richard Wesley, he just slowed down on the exit of a track, and Richard Wesley had no chance of avoiding that. It's a shameful. Because we lost an epic battle between 3 drivers right now, which is a massive shame. And Gabriel Ramos from all the way for 4th when he was fighting for it, and he was doing very, very well all the way to 6. And now only thing he can save him it's a safety car. 30 minutes to go. Very big gaps, and I don't think the safety car will be now possible one after they crash together and they are all divided. Shameful moment for a very, very good drive. A very good battle between these drivers. And Daniel Koppel now into the pit lane. So this will give out a place for Kairos. He's also going to the pit lane. He's reacting to that. And Daniel Koppel completely missed the grid slot. Adam Tomasha gets a 10-second penalty for cutting. This race is filled with too much penalties, but it seems like Kairos is gonna get past Daniel Koppel in the pits. Because Daniel Koppel completely missed his grid slot, and yes, he is! Kairos is past! And also, Ramos can maybe get him. Daniel Koppel now leaving the pit lane. Ramos is entering the final corner. I think that's too much. Well, just maybe. No, he's gonna get him! Ramos is past Daniel Koppel, so everything Koppel did in this race is ruined by missed pit slot. Pit box, sorry. And he is gonna be shaking his head like crazy, because that's a massive, massive mistake. From 4th to last, Richard Wesley spinning out on track. He's on the inside. He's a young driver, yeah. And he's gonna learn a lot. Maybe in the European part of the season he's gonna start to do well. But now it's just too much for him and his team. They are new in this league and they just don't have the experience to be already fighting for wins and stuff like that. So 30 minutes to go, about 15 laps in this race left, and it's 22 seconds gap to the leader from 2nd place and also from 3rd place to 2nd. Seems like Georgiev will win on his hypercar debut, as he didn't race in Daytona. And what's that? Rich Wesley going off the track, and it's Kairos and Eric Marshall like getting close to each other. Maybe a moment and Rich Wesley locking up. Once again, there is a big pileup of drivers. Hopefully everything is gonna be fine. Rich Wesley just there trying to survive. He's gonna cut the corner. Everyone survived, luckily, which we are definitely happy. And Rich Wesley setting his personal best, even though he spun that, which is not ideal. But there is our leader, Gergiev. We saw BMW in the real life racing get the second place in the 6 hours of Fuji, which is a very good result from their team. Next round is at Sebring. 1.2 hours of Sebrings for full points. And then we are heading into the Imola, the first European track on the calendar. Then we have Spa-Francorchamps. Next race is Funvote. Then we have Le Mans. Next up is Sao Paulo. Then it's Austria, Laguna Seca, Fuji, and final race is Bahrain. And Rich Wesley, another 10-second penalty for cutting Matthew Ritter in the pit lane. So it's a very nice day of racing. And I don't know, why are you complaining in the chat for 16-second penalty when in the rulebook it says 10-second penalty for cutting, and the server is just being changed from the Formula Series and the High Endurance, and there is just no chance. We are not perfect, so I can't promise to change it every single time, and remember that. So if you have problem with that, I'm sorry, but just don't look at it. Georgi Iliev in the pit lane right now, and that means Adam Tomaszak is getting the lead in today's race, but he didn't pit it yet, so there is still time to make. He will need to make best lap times as good lap times as possible, but Georgiev now leaving the pit lane, nearly a minute pit stop. 23 minutes to go in this race. And Gabriel Dupe has spun in the final corner. He's going to the pit lane. And Eric Marshall now leaving the pits. So it's about an 18 second. So Adam Tomaszak is catching up. It's about Gergiev now making as much time as possible. So Dupe in the pit lane, and Adam Tomaszek now in the pit. So it's about Georgiev now. He's very, very far, but it depends on Adam Tomaszek's strategy. Did a enormous move of a great strategy calls in today's race? I don't think so, because Iliev is now gonna get ahead. He's leaving the pits now. Much quicker pit than Georgiev. He's now through the final corner. He's getting the lift from Daniel Kleppel, his teammate. Was it decided by them? I don't think so, but it's now or never. And Georgiev now going past Adam Tomaszek. It's gonna be very, very close for both of them. So that means that Tomaszek did something very well, as he caught up nearly 16 seconds in the pits. Much better strategy. And it's about now how well you will do on the lap times, because everything can happen. Just don't crash. I don't think they are talking each other, because otherwise they will already let him go. He's now letting him go. And let's see if Daniel Kleppel will be put up into the work of defending. Even though he's lap behind Adam Tomaszek, he can still do some cheeky stuff, which is, yes, it's against the rules, but the penalty will go for Daniel Kleppel, not Georgi Iliev. That's the problem. So they can do whatever they want at this point, and they are in a big chance of taking it home. Let's see. And the gap just jumped up to 18 seconds. What happened to Adam Tomaszek? He's somewhere. He just had to somewhere get locked up or something, or lose time, or slow down because of cut. There's just no chance you lose 14 seconds in such a low time. What happened? What the hell? Yeah, he spun. Adam Tomaszek spun and he ruined his chances. I think it's over, because Georgiev now has 18-second lead with over 20 minutes to go, and he was managing the gap very, very nicely the whole race. So I think he's on course to take his first win of the season, to make it each race a new winner. Well, what a nice way to start the season. I'm not complaining. Maybe the GLS PXN Racing will be complaining, because there's another off track for Adam Tomaszek. He's well and truly struggling at this point. And yeah, let's be honest here. We saw many races, but I don't think Georgiev will be pushing as much to lose it somewhere as he did in the first stint. He's gonna do his best to keep the car on track safely and nicely. Now Kaido's getting past Gabriel Ramos. I don't know if there is something to do with their decision, or is it? It's not definitely their decision, as they are not in call. They are in separated call. So Kaidos passed him, and Gabriel Ramos just probably gave him not much of a battle or challenge to fight back. So still 70 minutes to go, and there is it. Kaidos once again off track, so Ramos get back into the 4th place. But very nice race from his block. They were struggling in Daytona. Kairos and Theocross showing up in Daytona. They were not doing very well. So they probably hoped for better result, even though they finished 4th and 5th. They were hoping for better result, and Theocross was a long time in the 2nd place and then completely lost it. And Kairos ending up in a bit of a compromise of lots of DNFs. I think that Kairos will be finishing much further back if there was not much of a DNFs in that race, but it's racing, so not much we can do about it. But now Gabriel Dupe trying to get past Richard Wesley, is going to be lapped by him for a 2nd time this race. Gabriel Ramos setting his personal best lap time of 1 minute 44.5. Now he kind of will take a look on the inside. Classical fake. Ramos not affected by it by any means. He don't care. Klippel has stopped on track. He spun in turn 1. No, it's not turn 1, it's turn I don't know. Sorry about that. Let's just take a look at the gaps to the leader. You can now see Daniel Klippel 1 lap behind. Daniel Klippel once again stopping. He once again spun. He's struggling a lot. And oh, Kairos! There was Gurgilev getting into that. Daniel Klippel once again spinning out. Right in front of Marjoni Baguette. Sorry. Morgan Baguette. I'm so sorry. What a goofy name. And Morgan Baguette just get his penalty for cutting. So Gilgilev now lapping the rest of the track. So it's just Marshalik and Tomaszek not lapped in this race. But it seems like that Gilgilev lost a time behind both East Block Ferraris, as he is definitely falling off a bit. About 3 seconds he lost, and he's losing more and more. Maybe a chance for Tomaszek in the final, let's say 8 laps, maybe? No idea. Sorry about that. Yeah, I would say 8 laps, exactly 8 laps to go in this race. So he will need to start to do 2 seconds a lap quicker than Iliev, or Iliev have to do massive mistakes in this race. And look at this. Who's that? Is it Iliev? No, it is not. It's Daniel Klippel, Rich Wesley in the pits. Bit of a dangerous driving from Daniel Klippel, but lots of penalties today. 10 seconds for Kairos, obviously. 5 seconds for Daniel Klippel, which definitely put him off the race. But even if Kairos will get past Ramos, is gonna still be behind him, as he got the 10-second penalty for the crash at the start of the race. And let's be honest here. Would have been Tomaszek winning if he didn't crash in the lap 1. This guy. Oh my. Someone deleted the message, nice. Whoever. Whichever admin is watching the race stream, thank you. But so here's another battle of the both East Block racing cars. 9 minutes to go, 17 seconds is the gap to the lead. Massive gap, let's be honest here. And I don't think he's gonna get it off. Sorry, I was muted. Fuck, you know. Second penalty for Adam Tomaszak, but I think that the race is probably over. 3 minutes 50 to go. And Georg Iliev is 20 seconds ahead of Adam Tomaszak. One thing for sure, the championship lead in the hypercar is gonna be standing with Adam Tomaszak as his closest rivals are not racing today, which is a bit of a boost. Also in GT3, no driver from yesterday, from the last race, is racing today, so also a bit of a boost for likes of Richard Westerley. Even though it's just half a point, he will still get 6 points today. So yeah, I mean, hypercar class is very affected by the half a point, but there is not. Every point is counting in this championship. You just need them. 12 races, only 1 double point race, 2 1.5 point races, and that's it. Sorry, 3 1.5 point races, I think. Yeah. I'm gonna take a look quickly. Sorry about that. But Spa-Francorchamps 1.5 points, Le Mans 2 double points, and 1.5 points in Bahrain. So only 3 races with more than 1 normal point, and 1 more half a point race in Sao Paulo. Rest of the season is normal points. So every point is needed in this championship. That's for sure. And I think they know it. 2 minutes to go, about 2 laps for Georg Iliev, who is probably going to hear his national anthem today of the Bulgaria. And I think he will love it. He is right in front of Daniel Klepel. And yet, final lap is gonna be the next lap. It's a 16-second gap. I think Georg Iliev will have to be crushed out completely to get a chance to Adam Tomaszak to catch up. And Gabriel, you once again off the track. Bit of a chaos in the GT3 cars. And Richard Westerley will actually go into the 4th place in the Drivers' Championship with this performance. Or maybe not. Wait a second, I'm gonna quickly take a look. He is 4th, yes. And yes, he's gonna get into the 4th place in the Drivers' Championship. And no, it's not final lap. Sorry about that. So the next lap is the final lap. And what's that? It's a... is that Kairos in the pits? He doesn't have a fuel, which gives Gabriel Ramos the 4th place today. Yes, I think it was fuel, as he's already out of the pits, but that means Gabriel Ramos will be 4th in today's race. Now it's the final lap of the race for Georg Iliev. And more specifically, the final 2 sectors around this track that is, I would say, pretty new. It was rebuilt a few 2 years ago, but now there it is. A final corner for the Bulgarian driver Georg Iliev and ZRT plus Best Racing. There he is. He is the winner in Qatar. He will take the victory here. And Georg Iliev done it. He wins. and take the victory in his debut hypercar race. Beautiful 5 points for him. And he done it. There we have him. He's gonna go for cheeky donuts. If he can manage to get them. He crashed into the wall. And there we have him. Putting some donuts in the EBRL Endurance League Round 2 at Qatar. The winner in GT3 cars is Morgan Buggett. Very nice victory, and we can now start with the Give me a second, I'm gonna just change the stream. There is your national anthem of Bulgaria for the winner. Thank you very much for the win here. We can now go for the national anthem of France for the GT3 winner who sadly left the server. There he should have been. So thank you everyone for watching this race. Very lovely race. We saw a new winner. Thank you for watching. 14 days until the Sebring race in America, the 1.2 hours of Sebring. See you later and bye bye. Thank you so much for watching. Watch out for Instagram for the race result and bye bye.